What's good, homies? It's your man, Dr. BOA. You have to keep in mind one thing when it comes to women. No matter how good you think she is, she could be living a life that you're totally unaware of. And women are so good at hiding those extracurricular activities that you will never know until she actually comes out and admits it. And somebody sent me a story on IG that there's an episode of the Maury show. And this chick, man, the thing she admits to doing to this guy, man, without him ever knowing about it. It just goes to show you that if you don't protect yourself, then your entire circle can be full of snakes, from your woman to your friends. And you'll be none the wiser if you play Mr. Nice Guy. Let's take a deep dive on this one. But first, let's elevate to a higher plane. Prepare for takeoff. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't even know if these types of things could be happening under my nose and me not know anything. She do nothing to tip me off, because you got to be pretty aloof to not see any change in a woman, because none of them are this good. The things that she says she's doing, man, are just, I mean, they are phenomenal. And it just goes to show that this guy doesn't have any intimate connection to this woman. And I want you guys to understand one thing. When you don't have an intimate connection to your woman, and you guys are engaging in intimacy, seldomly or if ever, then you have to understand, man, that if you're in close proximity to a woman, anytime a woman is in close proximity to a man, then that leads to her hormones being heightened and her sense of pleasure, a sense of eroticism being heightened. And so if she's not giving it to you, she's giving it to someone else. Let's take a look at this video, man, and we'll come back and chop it up on a real tip.
Not having a child has something to do with your secret. And this secret has several parts to it. What's the first part?
That I've been cheating on Mike with one of his friends.
What's the second part?
That I've had 3 abortions because I didn't know who the baby father was.
And what's the third part of the secret?
That I might be pregnant now and I don't know who my baby's father is.
We're going to be able to answer the third part because we've given you a pregnancy test and we're going to have the results of that pregnancy test today. How many times have you cheated on him?
Over 100, I lost count.
I mean, people make mistakes, but they don't make 100 of them. So, Markia, you turn to Mike and you tell him why you brought him here.
But I've been cheating on you. One of your friends.
What?
I'm so sorry.
You been cheating on my friend?
Mike, I'm so sorry. Please.
You got me on national TV looking like a sucker?
Sit down. More here than just this. There's more that goes on, and she wants to get it all out.
Over 2 years, I had 3 abortions. I wasn't sure if you was the baby father or not.
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm sorry.
Now, what y'all saw in this video, man, yes, it is bad, man. But what it goes to show more than anything is that a woman can be doing you absolutely dirty and do 2 things. Come back home and be so beguiling that you'll never know anything is happening. I mean, come home, man, and shower you with love and affection and do all of that, but it's guilt tripping. And then when she's finally found out, whether she admits it or you find out, she goes into this blubbering and blobbering about, well, oh, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, and this uncontrollable crying and all of these things. Well, this woman said she was cheating on this man with his homie for a whole year, over 100 times. There's no remorse behind that. Obviously, the homeboy broke up with her, or the homeboy threatened to tell Michael something happened, because this woman did this over 100 times over the course of a year, man. She said she lost count, homie, which means that this was as regular a part of her life as being at home, laying in bed with Mike every night was. So there were plenty of nights where she had been out with his homie and came and laid in bed with him that night. Not just to mention that, think about the fact his woman had 3 abortions. How do you not know that your woman had 3 abortions? Like, at what point are y'all so detached from one another that you can't tell something's different with her? Was it something, well, it's my time of the month and blah, blah, blah. Maybe she structured them that way, where she spread them out over the month, like month, and had them all during the time where he knows is normally her menstrual cycle. We don't know what happened here, but what we do know is that this is one scandalous woman, and this man was prepared to marry her still. Let's just think, if she hadn't admitted this, he would have married a woman who probably would have been with his homie the night before the wedding. That would have been her bachelorette party. I'm going to be honest with you, man. It makes no sense to be in this type of relationship, especially if you're a man who's in a position where you could provide for a woman. If you can provide for a woman, you hear him say, I did everything for you. He pretty much bought her from the gutter. You cannot uplift a woman from the gutter, because she's still a woman in the gutter. You can't change the gutter mind of a gutter person. You can't change the hood rat mentality of a hood rat. A woman who's from the gutter is always going to have a gutter mindset unless she grows herself out of the gutter. The same way with the man. You're always going to have a gutter mindset unless you build yourself up out of the gutter. And if you take a woman out of the gutter, she never had a chance to work her way out of the gutter. And most times when men take women out of the gutter, they don't make those women earn anything. It's always a charity case. And that's just the reality of it. And if the woman in your life is a charity case and you're taking care of her and she never had nothing, and you give her a life that she could only dream of, man, she is going to flip-flop on you. And that's just the reality of the scenario. It doesn't matter who the woman is. It doesn't matter if she's a virgin, a surgeon, or one who likes splurging. It don't matter who she is, man. You got to keep in mind that a woman from the gutter is always going to be a woman from the gutter unless she builds herself out of that environment. Riding your wave out of it is not the same. So here's a woman that this man has been taking care of, providing for her, treating her like a queen. And this is the payback he gets. And so all of this time, people are always saying, well, you guys are hurt, you guys are bitter. Hey, man, we ain't hurt and bitter at all. We just see what's going on around us. Why would we continue to try something that just fails, many more times than it succeeds? We like odds. We like the odds to be in our favor. And in this type of relationship, man, the odds are not in your favor. You can never invite a woman into your kingdom without having properly vetted her. And then some women, they're not going to fit. A woman who's never had anything is not going to fit into the life of a man who could provide her everything. It's just not going to happen unless you keep it at a minimum. And here's the thing. You pull a woman up from the gutter, there's nothing she can contribute to a life that you've already built. From a gutter to the kingdom, there's nothing she can contribute financially. What is she going to contribute? This is just another sign that the modern relationship has gone to hell in a handbasket. It's over, man. There's no need to try to get into this. That's why I tell you guys, man, I don't try to change a woman, but I tell you guys, if a woman is involved in social media, if a woman is active online, if a woman, you just can't trust the modern woman because she has too much access to too many different things where she can meet too many different people. And the more people she meets, the more likely she is to be influenced by something that she doesn't have in her life. Here's the thing. You have a woman in the gutter. She's influenced and easily taken by a man who has things. You have a woman who's with a man who has things. She's more influenced by a guy in the gutter who ain't got nothing. A woman always wants what she doesn't have. And when she gets that, she doesn't want it anymore. She wants what she doesn't have. You take a woman from the gutter, she's always drawn to the men in that environment. So if you're not a man in that environment, it doesn't matter what you do. She's always going to be drawn back to a man in that environment. So I guarantee you that a woman, she is not cheating with his friend that's just like him. A woman doesn't cheat with the same type of man she has. These are valuable lessons that you men must learn when it comes to dealing with women, man. The more Americanized the woman is, the further you should flee away from her. Or the further you should keep her away from those prime positions in your life. Always strap up. You don't need a wayward baby mama out here. And always protect your energy by not allowing a woman to drain it. Always protect your finances by not allowing a woman to drain them. The bottom line is, a woman can turn on whatever emotion she needs to turn on to evoke whatever response from you she wants to get. Now here's a woman, been cheating on this man all this time with his home. And start hyperventilating and all types of things and all of these things. And then she was very disrespectful, yelling at the man, telling him, you ain't gonna leave me alone, you ain't gonna leave me alone. She knows this, she's confident in that because she has already stepped on this man's toes so many times that he ain't even got no toenails on him no more. Boy can't even wear sandals outside, man, because he ain't got no toes. She stepped on him and crushed him so many times, and he stayed there and still thinking about marrying this broad. And here's the thing. You can't convince me that there's no sign at all that this broad is like this. Because God ain't going to do you like that. Even if you make a foolish decision of being with a woman like this, man, God ain't going to leave you out there blind, man, with no indication that this woman is out there like this. And then his homie, too. I guarantee his homie don't come around like he used to. Something changed with his homie. Something changed with his bro. He's probably seen times, man, where they've been at the crib chilling, man, had some people over, man, and his homie disappeared. Then his woman disappeared right after that. They probably been in that man's house, man, getting it in. I can guarantee you, in 100 times with his homie, I guarantee you that they got it in that man's house while he was there before. The scandalous nature of the modern female is on full display here, man. Full display. And that is why you men must understand that no matter what you do, you have to make sure that your woman understands she has competition. No woman can ever feel like, oh, I got him. Because the game is over for her. Relationships are a game to women. Marriage is a game to women. Dating is a game to women. Well, dating is a game to men too. But men, once they put a woman in a serious situation, they stop playing the game. You can't ever stop playing the game with women because they always play the game. And you got to be well aware of who you're dealing with. Because when you put a woman in your life and she living off your dollar, oh man, you got to rule with an iron fist. You understand what I'm saying? Like you got to make sure she working. You got to put her to work. You got to make sure she knows that her position ain't solid. There's competition. She got to compete. She got to get out. She got to earn everything that she get. She got to put all these things into play because if you don't do that, you end up in a situation like Mike here, where his woman that he wants to marry, spend the rest of his life with, build a family with, has been sleeping with his homie for over a year, over 100 times, so many times she lost count. She's been pregnant 3 times. Didn't know who the father was because she'd been sleeping with this man unprotected and letting him let it rip. Treat that man like he's her man. If a woman has a man, even if she gonna be out there, who else supposed to be able to hit her raw, man, and just let it rip besides the man she with? This woman is a scallywag. And then on top of that, she claims, I might be pregnant now. And she don't know who the baby daddy is. Fortunately for Mike, she wasn't. But here's the thing. The fact that she thought she was mean that very recently, she's been with both of these men. Because it was so early on that she wasn't showing. She didn't have no signs of being pregnant. She just thought she might be. Why? Because she's been pregnant so many times and had so many abortions that her hormones are gone haywire. And she knows something ain't right with her. Well, I tell you what ain't right with her. She got the harlot disease. She got the jelly bell jankiness. She got the harlotitis. And Mike should feel very blessed that he was able to find this out before he walked down the aisle with his witch. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.